Hi everyone, this is Edwina with Elegant Creations, and I'm here to do a project share for Decorate Your Life and also a tutorial on my tree boxes. And so I've been working on the Nestled in Spring. It's a cozy vintage Easter collection by Decorate Your Life, and is an 8.5 by 8.25 by 8.25, 65-pound cardstock, 8 designs, and 16 sheets. There's some fussy cuts. And so here is my QR code, and it's Edwina 15, and you can get 15% off your purchase even if it's on sale. And she has some beautiful papers, trims, bows, pans that you can make your own pans, the beads, the lots of beautiful charms and flowers. So check that out. And she also has a Facebook group, and we are doing Make-A-Wish Wednesdays, so you could put in a little something that you need, like trims or bows or die cuts, and someone will grant a wish to you, and you can grant a wish to someone else. So please join our Facebook group. And also there is a newsletter that you can get notified when she has a sale. And I'm trying to think of the design team has coming up with some beautiful items. They are very, very talented ladies. We each have a different day. So if you check that out, you get some really great ideas. You get one paper pack, and everybody has a different idea, different take on it, and different style, which is really nice. And I've learned a lot too. So I wanted to show you what I've made. And here it's like a little pocket. It's kind of like a home decoration. You can hang it on the wall. And I took my 8.5 by 11 and I cut it in half. And then I scored it a 1/2 inch on top on each side, and then at the bottom, not the top. Just then I glued them together, folded them up and glued them, and made like a little pocket. You can do the tin, and that's where I got the idea, where you get the tin, the cans that you open, food cans, and then you smash them. I didn't have any, so I decided to do it out of paper, and I wanted a bigger piece because I wanted to put this image in it. I just love this image, and I wanted to decorate this. So what I did, it's 110-pound cardstock in the back, and then I put this over it. And I did fold it in half, folded it over on this, so then I can had a clean edge, and the off-white wouldn't show. And I put that on top, and then I used Sandy's bows. I thought they were so pretty. She does beautiful bows. And then I did the little fussy cuts with the little bees. And I had these flowers in my stash. And then I took the fussy cuts, the butterfly, and this was my ornament, but I took it off, took the string off, and put that on there. I thought that was pretty. And then I did the carrot. So all I did was back it with the 110-pound cardstock and make it a little sturdier, and then just put one of those barbecue skewers, whatever they're called, and just glued it to the back. And then I just put that in there because I thought it'd make a cute little embellishment. I still want to put a few more. I ran out of the sticks, and that's why I did do that. And then I had this little white flowers that I used for a wedding, and then the little roses. So that's my project. It does have a string, so you can hang it. And so I want to show you, wanted to do a tutorial on my treat boxes and show you what I came up with. Well, I had made these last week, so I just wanted to show you how I made them. And so this little egg, I bought these wooden eggs at the Dollar Tree. And they're very thin, but they're sturdy. So you can cut them really easy. So I made my own little box and then covered it with the paper. And then just put the little bumblebee. I thought these were really, really cute. So they make nice little gifts. So I already did one. So I just did plain paper in the back and the decorative paper in the front. So what I'm going to do is I just put the right here, you measure, and I just take off a little bit so it can be flat, or else it's going to be rotten. So So then you're going to score. Any knife would do, because you're not going to go all the way through. You're just scoring. And it's kind of cut. That way your scissors can cut this and you're not struggling. And it cuts pretty good. Then you're going to get your nail file and kind of file it down. Make it even. I don't do too much of that because I don't want to make noise. It's kind of like a chalkboard. So then you would get your paper and you would glue that. I just use tacky glue that I use. I kind of put a little bit of water in my tacky glue because it's too hard to get off the bottle. Too thick. Okay. So you did that. I forgot to look at my pattern. But this is going to be my front. Okay. And then you're just going to cut around it. This is a pretty easy box. Pretty fast. You can make a bunch of them. And use the different designs. Okay. And you can put it as your front, whichever one you want. Then I just get plain paper. And then I'm just going to put glue on that. If you don't cut the bottom, then it's going to be rocky, so that's why. But it cuts really nice. Got my wipes again. I need to bring me a little packet here. I keep saying I'm going to, and I keep forgetting. Okay. So there is my little egg. So then I have a bunch of these that I used to use a long time ago. I don't want to waste them. They still have a little bit of ink. You can't really stamp on them, but I guess I should file that down. And then I just use that to ink up my images. I like to ink up my images. It makes a mess, but that's okay. So then I took a 2 1/4 by little less than 6 1/2. 6 and I think it's not quite 7/8, a little less than that. So kind of in between, just because, or you just measure here, and I didn't want it sticking out too much, but 6 1/2 was just a little bit too stuck out too much. And then I scored at 1/2 inch, turned it 1/2 inch, scored at 2, turned it, and then scored at 2 again. And then that way you get this little U. Okay, you're gonna make it look like that. So I get my glue, and you're gonna put that down. So that's why I was trying not to go over too much on the bottom. So after you cut it, you just have to measure and see, just at the sides. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it over, and you're going to put glue on the sides. It's going to look like a little U. So this one I cut a little too big, but that's okay. Fold that in like that. Kind of try and get it even with the other side. Press that down. And then here's your U. So, getting a little sloppy here. And you can put this forward like that, whichever one you want. And get your back piece, and you put that on top. See where my little edges show, but that's okay. It's not showing a whole lot. Then you can even this out right there. And then press that down. Oops, that's why I like using wet glue, because you can move it to make it even. And there's your little egg box. I thought this was so cute. They had a bunny too, and I could have kicked myself for not getting the bunny. And I kind of hesitated, and then I didn't end up getting it. But I thought the bunny would have been cute. You know, you go shopping and then you see things, but they don't get them, and you come home and you say, I should have done that. And I didn't have time to go back and get it. So there's my egg, and then you can put trim like this one. I put trim, and then I put a bow and put the little bee. So you can decorate them any way that you want. And then what you can do is you can cut. Oops, I'm reaching here. Measure your 2-inch. I should cut this ahead of time, and I didn't. Your 1 1/4 inch is what it is, by 2. Let's see if I can measure that. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Might not work because I have a crooked eye. Anybody that knows me. Let's see how I did that. Cool. Got it. So then you would just do your sides if you want to do the sides. Wasn't sure if that was going to work, but it did. A little shy, but that's okay. So that way it matches your paper. And that's a good way to use up scraps. Okay, and then you just do the other side and then decorate it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made this one. This is kind of like a diaper fold. So I took, so you take a 6x6. I was going to use the decorate paper, but then it would be backwards. So you can do a plain paper and then cut it out and put your images facing the right way. But I just wanted to show you how I made this. Okay, so you would cut a 6x6, and then you would fold it over, and you would fold it in half. Okay, and then you would turn it over. Double-sided would be nice, but that's where you can put the decorated paper in it. So you would come in about 1 inch. You can measure if you want. With my pencil. Okay, this way. Come in about 1 inch. Okay. And then you're going to lift this up, and you're going to bring this corner here all the way to the top. Okay. Another very easy fold. Then you're going to bring this end, and you're going to make sure that this part right here is kind of even. Might not go all the way. Let's see. You want this to be like that. Okay. So there's your diaper. I think it's called a diaper fold. I'm not sure. Kind of. I did a little bit off, but that's okay. Okay, so that will be your design right there, and you have your little pocket, and you can glue this down a little bit. So what I wanted to do is use kind of this, bring that down. There you go. Kind of go inside the line so it can fit. Okay, and this way. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure. There you go. Cut a little bit too short, but that's okay. So that way you have a little bit of decorative paper on the inside and on the flap. Then you can also put it on the flap. Cut another piece. I'm kind of winging it, so it's something I just thought of, so. Oops, I think I should have done that one. See? Backwards, I did that backwards. So then you would put another piece there if you wanted to. But I should have done it this way. But that's okay. Let's see. Live and learn. There. Then you would glue that to the flap. I know I put too much glue. But there you go. So that's how I did my little diaper pocket there, and you can put your candy. And then this one I decorated my cut out the little wagon and then put that on the front, and I put some cheesecloth and then decorated with a little tag. So that's my little pocket there. I'm gonna cut this and see, make it even. So that's it, and you can put something on the side if you want this to show. And I probably should have put a little lip so it's clean, but that's okay. So that's it for that one. And then I also cut my, if I can find it. Okay, so I did the French fry box. And so I cut another piece of the decorative paper. Okay, so I cut out a piece of the decorative paper. I didn't cut the whole thing this way because it would have been backwards, and I didn't want it backwards. So I just took little pieces, and then I'm just cutting out where it's perforated. Okay, so this will be the front, and I wanted it to be just right and facing the right way. And then it will make it sturdier if you use some type of cardstock. And then put the paper in the front. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Okay, let me see. I took these, and you can put that in between. I didn't do that the first time because this was an afterthought. Kind of needed something, so you could do it like that. That way, you trap them in between. On the one I have, you can see the seam. Okay, so then this one, do the same thing. Because you have your perforated lines. And what I like about this is you can pick the image that you want. And you don't have to get things that you don't want. Okay. So that's going to go inside like that. Okay. I thought that was cute. And then you're going to put your decorative piece right there. And you can cut a little bit off of it too, if you need to. It doesn't stick out. Just like that. I hope this helped. These tree boxes are really cute. I just didn't know which one I wanted to do, so I did a bunch. Well, a couple different ones, and so I have a variety. It's kind of nice to do that. And I probably should have put this. Nope. Cut this off a little bit to go further down. I'm kind of a messy crafter. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants sometimes. Just I change things, and things don't always work out, but they do work out. And I shouldn't say they don't. I just kind of change things a little bit sometimes, but that's okay. That's my style. It always happens that way. So then what you can do is you do all your score lines. I didn't do my score lines. Oops. Kind of curves. That's what makes it hard with this one. Okay, then you're going to put glue on just the flap right here. And I put it on the flap right here because it doesn't go all the way. It doesn't cover. So you want to make sure both sides get glued down. So I always guide the bottom because, like I said, this doesn't go all the way. Kind of fumbling here. This is a pretty box. I don't use it that often, but I thought this was pretty for Easter or for spring, or to give little gifts. It would be cute. You could put a little notepad. You could put little lipsticks. A lot of things you could put. Just a candy, cookies, a little toy or something. Nail polish set. Lots of things you can put in this little box. Pretty good size. Not huge, but it's a good size. And if you wanted to, you can measure and put the decorative paper on this too. Stuck to my finger. And you can put tape. I was going to get the thin tape that I have from Sandy's shop, and I forgot to get it. So there's my little box. Okay, fold that in. Hopefully. There's my little box. So your little French fry box, and then you can fill it with lots and lots of goodies. And what I did with mine is this one. I've got to cut another piece to put in the back. I didn't have enough. This is the gingham that is on Sandy Shop digital, and so you can cover the front and the back to use for your little French fry box. So I thought this was cute with the little kite, and then you could put the paper on the side, and that's probably what I'll do with this one. Use the decorative paper that I have left over because I got a lot of little pieces. And so thank you all so much for watching, and I appreciate it, and I hope that helped. If there's another tutorial you guys would like, let me know. So this paper pack is Nestled in Spring, and it's a vintage Easter collection. And the next collection will coordinate with this paper pack, and it is really cute. So we'll be doing that next week. And this is my QR code. And check out all the design team ladies. I will leave a link below of all their channels, and they are very, very talented ladies. I am very happy to be in the category with them because they have inspired me a lot. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.